Hello, welcome to Hope for Flint. I'm your host, Kristen Willisonovich. So excited to have my dear friend, Amir Rutherford. Hello.
Hello.
In the Hope for Flint studio. And you brought a beautiful young lady with you, Kelly Beidelman. Really excited. Kelly, you are the executive director for the Center for Civil Justice. And you, Amir, serve on the board of directors, correct?
Yes.
And what is your title?
Secretary.
You're
I'm
the
the secretary of the board, yes.
Does that mean you handle the treasurer handles the money? Mm-hmm. What does the secretary do?
Take the notes at the meetings and distribute the minutes.
And boss people around like,
No, not quite.
Well, this is really important for you to be on Hope for Flint because the Center for Civil Justice, if you could, Amir, give us a brief overview of what this organization provides.
The Center for Civil Justice is more like an umbrella organization.
Okay.
Like Legal Services of Eastern Michigan does individual case work for people who are in need for legal work.
Is it like public, like when you can't have an attorney, is it like an appointed public
Center for Civil
defender?
Justice?
So tell me a little bit like how it works for like the layman, for someone who would need legal services.
Well, for the Center for Civil Justice does more broad sweeping work. So
Got
we
it.
do like advocacy and lobbying on a grander level.
Got it.
So
On a bigger
above.
scale.
Yeah. So like if you have a class action suit against an organization, or just an example would be like the water pods when they decided to take the pods away where they were distributing the free water.
Yes.
Someone had to stand up to try to get them to stay.
How would they know to reach out to you? Who does that outreach to inform you that even exists?
We monitor the public interest.
Okay, so that's what you do. Where are you guys located, Kelly?
Our office is in downtown Flint.
Okay.
And we serve a 14-county service area in the Eastern District of Michigan.
So 14 counties, but you're headquartered here in Flint, Michigan.
Yes.
Okay, very, very good. And how long has this organization been around?
We took over the Genesee County Legal Aid Society, which was formed in 1951.
Okay.
And we renamed it the Center for Civil Justice in 1996. We do civil law.
Okay, civil law. Yes.
Civil law. No criminal law.
Okay.
And so there's legal aids throughout the entire country for poor to have access to justice. What kind of a justice system would we have if only the rich could avail
the private
themselves
sector
of it?
oversaw everything.
So
Sure.
legal aid does the individual cases throughout the country, the landlord-tenant disputes, the evictions, the
Got it.
guardianships, the child custody, bankruptcy, those types of things. But in 1996, the federal government decided that legal aid providers could no longer do class action lawsuits or lobbying. And that's
Why is that?
Because they wanted to make sure that the government funds it. They didn't want them to then use it to sue.
Okay.
All right.
Understood.
So the Center for Civil Justice was formed and purposely does not get the federal funding so that we can do the important work.
So that they're not dictating how you service the community.
Exactly.
Okay, excellent.
Exactly.
So who do you service? What is the age groups?
Any age group,
Okay.
but it's low-income people.
Low income.
We make sure that low-income people have whatever they need to meet their basic needs. So we do that through impact litigation, through lobbying, and through policy advocacy.
Got it. And like as Amir said, it's also massive monitoring. So do you have people that are continuously watching, observing, casing, kind of making sure what is happening around whatever your respective counties? And if they suspect something's not right, is that when you guys would possibly jump in, like the water pods, for example? So you always have people in every county.
But we're engaged in the community. So the board of directors is made up of not just lawyers, but regular people
Community,
like myself.
yes.
I was appointed by a friend of mine who's also not a lawyer. I think it's been 3 years now.
Wow. You're passionate about it.
I mean, it's Flint. And
You're serving the underserved.
it's the way I grew up.
I
so
know. I know.
This is what I've always done.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer for you to be a
it's-
part of this organization. How long has it been around?
Well, like Kelly said, since 1951, and it went through formations because of changes in legal. So 1996 was when it was renamed Center for Civil Justice.
Okay. And it was rebranded, and then obviously the business model kind of shifted a little bit, so you guys were able probably to service more. And
Yeah,
you weren't
well,
so controlled.
It just made a delineation between what people were able to do.
Okay, excellent. All right, tell me a little bit how it's different from like standard legal services.
Right. Again, we don't handle the individual cases. You have legal aid offices that will help with individual cases such as evictions, what have you. What we do is we find the issue and we determine that it's affecting poor people.
At a large mass.
At a large mass.
Is there a criteria number that it has to affect for you to come in or to determine whether or not?
No.
No.
So, for instance, we're recently filed a lawsuit against a mobile home conglomerate.
Okay.
That owns 66 mobile homes in the
66.
state of Michigan.
Sure.
And we're not sure yet until we get our discovery going as to how many people were affected by their practice. But what they're doing is, if somebody owns their mobile home, and a lot of low-income people will do that, they'll get, for instance, a retroactive check from Social Security and then use that money to buy a mobile home.
Right.
Because then they know they can afford the lot rent
Right.
every month.
And they own the home outright, and then
own
all
the
they
home.
have to pay is lot rent.
Right. So they skip a month of lot rent.
Okay.
They had to go to the dentist, and they couldn't pay their lot
Right,
rent.
exactly. Or their
So
car
right,
issues
or their
or
car
something.
issues, yes. So then they get evicted. And the mobile
If they
home
miss
park,
one lot
payment,
rent?
they get evicted, and and what's worse, the mobile home conglomerate goes to the Secretary of State and says, the mobile home's been abandoned, we're the owner now, we want you to give us title.
After like $300,
Yes.
one skip payment.
Yes.
And that's where you guys come in to say, we're protecting you.
We're protecting you. So we also sued the Secretary of State for Michigan to stop that practice and stop allowing it to happen. It's a violation of the United States Constitution's 14th Amendment.
Wow. I love you. I love you. No, seriously. I mean, and you kind of look at, I live in a condo. I'm moving into a condo. And we are having to jump through hoops through the homeowners association. And it just baffles me. They take care of, aesthetically around the condo. But, I have a friend who was just fined $50 because a chair was left out. And she's like, I didn't even leave the chair out. Like, it just baffles me, the power that they have. They can put a lien on your house to sell your house if you're short like $100. I mean, it's just bizarre to me, the power they have.
It is, and we call that unconscionable.
Thank you.
So
I like you a lot. You're very cute. Okay, let's talk about your health eligibility law project. Let's talk about that.
So we have a health advocate. Her name's Jessica Flint.
Okay.
And
Flint, what a name.
Yeah, isn't that wonderful?
I think
Flint
I'm going
and
to change
Flint.
my name to Kristen Flint.
So she's a social worker, and she speaks Spanish. So that's
Wow.
even
Yeah,
more wonderful.
bilingual, yes.
So as I said, we don't really bring cases in like a legal aid office does.
Sure.
But we do help folks navigate the Department of Health and Human Services systems so that they have
Which isn't
access
easy.
to food stamps. It's not easy.
It's incredibly complicated.
Very complicated.
And I'm not going to lie, like even I have an undergrad, a master's degree. I've tried to help people navigate through the system, and I'm technically savvy for the most part. Well, Zach may disagree, but like at least on computers. And they make it almost impossible.
It is. It is, and it's probably designed that way.
It is.
But they have a horrible computer system. So we're navigators, and Jessica will help folks sign up for food stamps or make sure that they're getting the appropriate amount of food stamps.
Okay.
Help people when they get cut
They
off
get
their
health
Medicaid.
care, okay.
Or, which happens often, more often than you think, or to get cash assistance.
Now that's more of a one-on-one basis though,
Yes,
right?
and that's a one-on-one basis, and that's so we can monitor when we see there's problems. So if 5 clients come to us and they've all been cut off their health care for the same reason that is not a good reason, then we can systemically fix it so that it's fixed for all the people in the
Thank
state.
you. And listen to me. I have friends that have healthcare. They're single moms through the state. They will get the card in the mail, and then they'll get a letter the next day that says, you are going to be cut off and you have 7 days to turn in all of this paperwork. Here's the deal. The state of Michigan has switched over software there's no longer case managers.
Right.
They don't call a case manager to say, hey, what is necessary? There's no one to call.
That's right. They switched over to universal caseload in most of the counties in Michigan. So no one's assigned an individual caseworker anymore. It's whoever answers the phone. The problem is they don't answer the phone.
They don't answer the phone.
And you're on hold for over an hour. No one's responsible for your case. And it's really a big
There's
problem.
no accountability.
They've done things like mail out the letters that you'll receive on a Saturday and then tell you have an appointment on Monday at 9 a.m. and you need all this paperwork that you need at least 2 days to get, and Sunday's not a day to get the paperwork.
And you know what I'm seeing too, because I have a healthcare show, and we talk about this with physicians all the time about healthcare reform, insurance reform. So what I've seen is people have a primary care physician and they say, okay, we're going to take your Medicaid or your Medicare, and we recommend you get Blue Cross Complete, or we recommend we'll take Molina. So they make all the shifts to do this, and then all of a sudden they'll go into their doctor and they're like, we don't take this anymore. I mean, it is, am I speaking your language?
You sure
It
are.
is insane.
We were trying to get glasses for some kids, and on the website for the eye place, it said we take Molina. It had literally changed 7 days before when I called. They no longer took Molina. That's how fast it goes.
It's and just like real quickly, it's off the subject, but I will tell you like what these families are dealing with on top of working 3 jobs and trying to maintain life and work balance, and single moms. They can't get ahead. And let me give you a perfect example. My 21-year-old daughter got scholarships to Mott for 2 sports. She was coming out of her associates debt-free at 21 years old, okay? She had a car that we had purchased outright when she was 18, and she needed a new car, and she had 0 credit. She couldn't get a credit card. Like back in our day, we could get credit cards. They would be at the colleges. Sign up. You can get your Visa, your Macy's, your Sears. I mean, we would have 3 to 5 credit cards. She couldn't even get a Capital One card. She could not get credit. Went to go get a car. Has the highest APR for a car, but she has to get a car, right? She has to get credit. She's paying top dollar for this car and top dollar insurance. Her car blew. The engine blew after 8 months. So she took it and it's $3,600, okay? So that's kind of crazy for her to pay. Not only that, she's switching insurance companies. They have quoted her no less than $400 a month. No less.
So at
21 years old.
It's tough being poor or being low income. It takes
tough
so
being
much
poor,
work.
Kelly.
It takes so much work
It's survival
to
mode.
survive. It really does. And a lot of people think, and that's why the Medicaid work requirements are
Yes,
coming
talk
to
to me.
Michigan, is that poor people are lazy. That is
No.
so far from the truth.
No.
It is a struggle every day to get the basic needs that you need.
What is the Medicaid work requirements?
All right, so Michigan started accepting they expanded the Medicaid when a lot of states did the Medicaid expansion. And in Michigan, it's called the Healthy Michigan Plan.
Okay.
And that allowed low-income people to get health insurance
Yes.
coverage. This year, because apparently people think that folks are lazy, they think that they need to work. This is health insurance program. It's not a jobs program. So our legislature passed a law that folks have to work 80 hours a month in order to maintain their Medicaid, their Healthy Michigan plan. And if they've been on it for 48 months, they have to start paying a 5% premium, which for folks getting $700 a month in supplemental security income, that's a lot of money.
That is a lot.
That's a whole day's
Not to
worth
mention
of meals.
they're paying co-pays for their meds.
Yes, and co-pays for the
And
meds.
some people have disabilities that preclude work at all.
Yes.
That's right.
And most of the people that are getting the Healthy Michigan Plan coverage already do work if they can work.
Yes.
And
because they need that supplemental income.
Exactly. So we are partnered with the National Health Law Program, and we plan to challenge the Medicaid work requirements as they did in Kentucky,
High five.
Arkansas, and New Hampshire.
You're speaking my love language. I love you. What an advocate for such a broken system. And for people, isn't there such stigma and marginalization of what this demographic is and who they are? Let me tell you who this demographic is. They're my daughter. who's going to college and working her butt off and had to accrue $18,000 in debt for 1 year. And guess what? Because her mom and dad make too much that she can't get enough, but we can't come up with $5,000 in one day. And I'm sorry, that's a reality of that.
Yes.
Definitely.
So you have got, and guess what? She is a white girl, blonde girl, working her tail off. So who falls in this demographic? Who do you think falls into this demographic? Let me tell you who does. It's all of us. Yes. I don't care. I don't care your race, your religion, your color. This affects all of us, and it can happen to anyone. So I love what you two are doing. It's absolutely incredible, and this is exactly what we need. And I know, what are some current cases that you're working on? More cases that you're working on.
That is the main one at this point, because we're planning on filing the lawsuit in September, October.
Okay.
And I need to find plaintiffs. I need to find people that are in Michigan,
okay,
that are on the Healthy Michigan plan.
Yes.
And I want them to call us,
yes,
if they're going to be cut off. And so the folks we're looking for are adults ages 19 to 62.
Okay.
Again, Michigan residents.
Okay.
On Healthy Michigan plan, have ongoing health needs.
Yes.
And have not been found disabled by Social Security or the state of Michigan.
Okay.
So we're looking for the guy that lives in the middle of Clare County who got out of prison 2 years ago. He has health insurance through Healthy Michigan plan, but he has no transportation.
Okay.
And there's one car in the family. Somebody already uses it.
Got it.
How's he going to work?
Right.
So, and people need to be healthy in order to work. It's not the other way around. You don't work and then try and get healthy.
Right.
So we're looking for those that are seasonally employed or have volatile hours.
Okay.
So a lot of our wait staff, people that work in retail, they don't set their schedule.
Right.
They're told this is your schedule for the week.
Right.
So if they can't get their 20 hours for that week or 80 hours a month, they're going to get cut off their health insurance.
Okay.
And they won't have it anymore. So living in a high unemployment area.
Yes.
Lacking transportation or are unemployable for another reason.
Got it.
I mentioned our ex-offenders.
They can't get jobs because of their felonies.
Right.
Yes.
1 in 4 people in Michigan have a felony conviction. That's a lot of people that we're
That's
not
insane.
employing. Yeah. And now they can't have health insurance. They can't be healthy. So that's our main focus.
Here's what, sorry to interrupt, but a lot of them coming out, they want to contribute to society. They want to pay taxes. They want to get in the community. They want to start working. It's not that they want to sit home and, watch TV all day. They want to contribute.
They do.
Is the narrative.
And employers will say they're the greatest employees because they're used to a schedule.
They're disciplined.
And they want to work, and they're going to be there when it's, for their shift.
They're ready.
Yes.
And they're very compliant.
Yes.
They're very disciplined.
That's counter the narrative that we get every day about everyone.
Right.
Everyone that's in need. They're lazy. They don't want to work. They're not looking for work.
That's what you hear on the daily. Mm-hmm. And then when you actually meet them, right, you're like,
Just give me a shot.
Yeah, they're like, I'm working 3 jobs and I still can't pay my lot rent because I've got this, that, and this, and co-pays and kids and food and just even things and gas, things that require disposable cash, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you. I see you both. How can people get a hold of you?
They can call us. We're at 810-244-8044. Our office is here in downtown Flint at 436 South Saginaw. And
website?
And we have a website. It's ccj-mi.org.
Give me the phone number one more time.
810-244-8044.
And then you're located right here in downtown Flint. Give them a call. They went through the criteria of what they're looking for. Check out their website. They are here, the Center for Civil Justice, Amir Rutherford, Kelly Beitelman. My gosh, I cannot thank you both enough. Will you come back on the show? We'll continue to scream from the mountaintops the work you do and how the outreach you do, and for people, the resources you provide. We've got to start changing the narrative. This is not fair. It's not fair. And there needs to be reform.
Thank you.
And we will continue to they'll listen. Trust me.
Our cases have been featured in like the Washington Post and
Excellent.
on national level. So
And
it
hope
gets
for
out
Flint.
there.
This is the global level right here, baby. But seriously, it's the truth. And what strong stories to tell. And let's fight. Let's fight for these people. They deserve it. So I love you both, Amir Rutherford, Kelly Beidelman. You both are definitely hope for Flint.